Hey everyone, this week we're going to be making some pixel art for the game, so if that sounds interesting to you, go ahead and like the video, subscribe, and let's get right into it. So I started out this week by simply just planning out what I wanted to make. I knew that I wanted to build some obstacles for the game to add a little bit more depth for future levels that I am going to be working on. So I started out here by trying to make a simple electricity field or something that just prevents the player from going past. And the first version looked pretty bad, so I quickly refined that into something a little bit more simple. And I thought blue was going to look pretty cool, but in the end it kind of just looks like water. So I ended up scrapping that and changing it to yellow for a more traditional look. It looks much better that way. Then I moved on to the spaceship that I had already made, but I wanted to give it some motion, give it a little bit of animation. And so I started out just moving it around so it kind of looks like it's hovering, and then created some lights for the spaceship to have. They blink on and off, and I thought it looked pretty good in the end. I didn't want to use actual lighting in game, so here it is. I changed the colors as well, but I don't know if I'm going to keep it like this. I might go back to the first version. After that, I moved on to the next thing I wanted to make, which I wanted to make a black hole. Since it's a space-related game, I thought that a black hole kind of seems fitting, and it would provide a good obstacle for the player since it would pull you towards it. I thought it would be spinning when I first thought of this idea, and after putting it down, it didn't look very good at all, so I scrapped that idea pretty quick and moved on to something much more simple, just a circle with some color, and started to try and figure out how I was going to animate it. I wanted to have stars that were flying into the black hole and kind of fading out, and no matter how many times I tried, I couldn't get this to actually look smooth. I don't know if you guys have ever had trouble like this, but making pixel art can be a pain sometimes, especially making an animation. I spent a lot more time on this than I really intended to, and if I would have just kept it simple from the very beginning, I wouldn't have wasted so much time. So when I got to my final version, it really was much simpler, and I just had a few stars that were going in. It still doesn't look quite right, but that's what it's going to be for now. The next thing I wanted to make was another alien. I thought maybe it would be a good idea to have some kind of a bad alien, an evil alien. So I made this little guy with his stubby little legs, and I haven't got him animated yet, but I think he turned out pretty good. He looks a little bit evil, but a little bit cute too, I guess. Next, I just needed another planet to throw on my title screen, so I made a second planet. This is going to be for World 2. It is just going to be the next one in the sequence for the solar system. The next thing that I was going to go ahead and make was the next obstacle, and that was a volcano looking thing, but really it's going to be shooting air. So I made some little air particles here and animated those. I also wanted a cannon in the game. Not to hit the player, but more so to destroy the walls that the player is drawing. So in the game, you're drawing walls along for the aliens to bounce off of, and this cannon will be used to more or less destroy the walls that the player has drawn to try and protect the aliens. Hopefully it'll provide a nice challenge. The last thing I wanted to make was some kind of teleporter. I wasn't quite sure how to go about this, but I knew that I wanted to have it as a circle. So I started out by making that and adding a little bit of glow effect to the edges. Once I had that done, I put in some, teleportation lines. Kind of look like it's particles flying around. And tried animating them, getting them so that they're actually moving and growing. Then I made a second one with a different color. I don't know if I'm going to end up using them, but I've got them there just for the time being. I think they turned out pretty good. Finally, I made this switch. I didn't actually record myself making it. It was pretty easy, but I wanted a switch for the game. Well, that's it for this week. If you liked the video, you know what to do. Please subscribe if you want to continue watching my future devlog for this game. And next week we're going to get it all put into the game, see how it actually works. Catch you next time.